Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to look at something innovative for your recoil management. It is a recoil reduction system from DPM Systems Technologies. It's not just your ordinary spring kit. It's pretty adjustable. This system was designed by an anti-terror officer and special forces operative from Greece. It's a pretty interesting kit. It's not a bad value, but we're going to see how well it works. The system, as we'll cut here, we'll look closer at it. So here we have the Hellcat Pro kit. This is what came in the package here. We have 4 external springs, and then you have your center guide rod spring set along with 2 spring plugs. The other spring plug's still in the package. I didn't pull it out for this picture here, but if you put them all together, you have roughly 8 different combinations you can go with to fine-tune your spring rate. I ended up putting the longest spring on there. I was trying to get the most recoil reduction I could for the Hellcat Pro. So that's what we ended up doing the final test on. I did shoot with all of them, and you could see the spring rate change just minimally between the springs. So it's all about, I guess, fine-tuning your whatever firearm you're putting this in with your ammunition. I'd like to take a minute to give a shout out to Ransom International for helping us out with the channel and supporting us with grips and other items for a lot of our testing that we do in these videos. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of this. So if you're looking for a rest, hit them up. They make really good products. Okay, what everybody's been waiting on. Let's look at the numbers here. So I had to break this video up into several days and several parts because the first time I went out, I shot about 10-15 rounds through each spring set just to see what they would do, just to get some rough numbers. And the shit didn't make any sense to me at first. It just wasn't enough data points. So I had to go back out again and I had to shoot again. The second time I went out, I just did the stock spring versus the longest spring for the DPM system. So I put the longest one in there, and then I went through like 50 some rounds for each one just to get a good enough data set. Because the first one, you know, the stock spread, I mean, there was a huge spread. It was all over the place. I ended up with an average. I don't even remember what it was now. I didn't even keep all that data. But the DPM system was pretty equivalent to the stock one in the average, but the spread just, they were way off, so I didn't know what was going on. So then when I went and reshot, so then I went back out, and this is where I'll throw the chart up here. You can see, so the stock, we ended up with an average of 26.198. With the DPM spring system, with the longest spring on there, we ended up with a little bit of reduction. We got 25.7655, so roughly almost a 2% decrease in, if you want to call that the perceived recoil or whatever, that's what we got with the inclination on the Ransom Rest. However, what the charts did show was almost a 35% improvement on the spread itself. So we ended up with a lot less variability between the shots. They were way more consistent. So just to give you an idea here, the stock spread was roughly 3.35 degrees overall, to whereas the DPM we got down to 2.19. So the medians and the averages were pretty damn close between the two, but as far as the consistency of the slide action, and if you're looking for follow-up shots, we did see improvement. So that was surprising. I had to go through a lot of shooting to get that data. So lastly, just to wrap this up before we go, a friend of mine started his own dog treat company, Chance Choice. It's just freeze-dried dog treats. It's a veteran-owned company. They make really good stuff. You should check them out too if you actually care about what your animal eats. And with that being said, please like, subscribe, hit us up in the comments, and let us know anything you want to see. Catch you guys later.